Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz. It is December 6, 2017. It's 8:02 p.m. Birmingham. Topic is why the move of the embassy to Jerusalem. Guys, I can really think of one major reason why, and I'll get to that in just a moment, but I'm going to tell you why I'm going here. All in timing. It's timing. Maybe like end of days timing. There's a certain number of things that needs to be done. You know, we as America, we've been a absolutely crazy country. I mean, evil, mean country. And the people, the citizens, didn't do a thing about it. They let the Clintons and Obamas just do whatever heck they wanted, in which they trampled on everything that had God in it. Well, then we go and pray for 5 years, 5.5 years, for a leader, someone to pull us out of this muck and mire. And we got someone. Now, did we get Donald Trump by prayer of 2 Chronicles 7:14? Read that. If you turn your face toward me, turn from your wicked ways, then I'll hear you and I'll heal your land. We prayed for that, but it took more than just praying. It took actions. It took making a move of good faith in that direction for God to see that we mean what we said we would do this time. And there are great people out there that are telling it today, shouting it. And you have Jonathan Cahn, and you have J.D. Farg. He's the prophecy update guy. Scott Clark, he was the one that had the Virgo and the Jupiter in the belly of the king star or planet, and then the red dragon just recently, and then you have Mark Biltz, the 4 blood moons. You know, they're talking, Ivy Lipkin, and they're talking about things that's not happened before. Some of these things have never happened in 7,000 years. And some of these things will never happen again. But we're in the days of those things. Now, Trump made the citizens in this country a promise. And the majority of the citizens voted for him based on his promise. Well, in good faith, he jumped right out and started working on those promises. First thing he jumped on, start building that wall. And they're still fighting him tooth and nail, but they're going to lose that battle because that's a promise. And I believe God is in alignment with that promise that he made to us. He didn't make only us a promise. He made God a promise. He went to Israel. He went to Benjamin Netanyahu. He sat down with him. He shook hands with him, signed on the dotted line. He said, we are your number one ally, and we will stand with you as long as we are a country. Well, what else could we do to prove that we mean what we say? Move an embassy? Sounds like a good idea to me. Now, let me tell you this. It doesn't have to be moved into, and I'm going to tell you why. Back up. Let's go to Roe versus Wade. What did Trump say about that? He said he was going to stop it. He was going to defund it. He did it. He defunded abortion around this planet. Canada picked it up. They picked up that debt and started paying it. Well, that's fine. They can do what they want to do. But there's other things that Donald Trump is doing. but yet the promises made to us are as important as the promises he made to God. When God sees that he's going to make a good faith move in that direction by acting, whether it's actually done, it's in the process of being done. Well, then now, God, I'm going to make sure that I'm good at my word. We're going to not only stand with Israel, we're going to go ahead and move into the embassy. That's a good faith move. Why is that important? Why is it important now? Let me tell you why I think that's important. We have Hanukkah coming up. Hanukkah will start on the 17th of this month and end, I think, the 23rd or 24th. I'm sorry, I got it down here, but in my mess, I lost it. But it starts on the 17th. What does that have to do with the price of beans of China? Well, it's got a whole lot to do with everything else but China. Look here, generations that have to be fulfilled. How many times did the disciples follow Jesus around and said, Jesus, tell us, when are you going to return? You know, what are we going to look for? Or are you going to come back while we're still here? And he tells them, he talks about the things that's going to happen on the earth in the end of days. He talks about them. He said, you're going to hear wars and rumors of wars. He said, famines and disasters. He said, birds will die. We've had that. Fish in the sea will die. When he says fish in the sea, he's not talking about a dozen. And he's talking about droughts and diseases. Guys, all these things are on us now. And fire, look at California. They were almost out. And now today, it's an inferno right now. It's raging bad. But what has all this got to do with the embassy move? Well, let me read something here. When Jesus told them, okay, Jesus, we hear you. There's going to be wars and rumors of wars. There's going to be famines and pestilence and sicknesses. There's going to be earthquakes in diverse places. There's going to be fires. You know, okay, but when are these things going to happen? He says, truly I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have happened. Let's put it in just slightly different. So also, when you see these things taking place, you will know that the kingdom of God is near. Truly, I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have happened. Means they're in the process. They're underway. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not. I can read this over and over and over, but here's the one that's important to you and I, guys. Hanukkah, that's coming up here in a few days. Hanukkah, why is that important? Well, guess what? Balfour Declaration, that'll end in 2018, 100 years. Just say the generation's 100 years. Well, that ends 2018. Well, what if it's not a 100-year generation? What if it's a 70? Okay, Israel became a nation in 1948. Then that generation ends in 2018. Wow. Okay, what if a generation is 50 years? Okay, the 1967 war that reclaimed all of Jerusalem. That generation ends in 2018. Actually, 2017. It ends. All those generations end within a time period of December 17th in the next 7 days, or 8 days, I think 7. All generations, which one you're talking about doesn't matter. They all conclude. So also, when you see these things take place, you know that the kingdom of God is near. Again, I tell you the truth. This generation will not pass from the scene until all these things have taken place. Guys, what could be the most important thing to happen in Israel today, now? Maybe to God is moving the embassy. That is concluding a good faith move. That is acting on a promise you've made. What else? Well, I don't think the church will be here to see the Ezekiel 38-39 war. That'll be Russia, Iran, Turkey, Libya, Syria. All these nations, they'll attack Israel. We didn't speed it up. We didn't expedite it. It's already been done in God's eyes. He saw it a long time ago. He just told us, look for it in these days. That's when it's going to happen. Guys, look up. Look up. Because if that generation is a generation that'll see these things, then everything can finish out in the next 10 days or to 2 weeks. We don't know, but are you prepared for it too? Are you ready just in case that the church has been removed? If it's snatched out of here tomorrow, are you going with it? I am. And I think the move, the embassy move, is an act in good faith that you're going to do what you said you would do. Just like God says, I will in no way cast you out if you call upon the name of my Son. Jody Wolf Expoz.